Hi everyone, and how are you all? Today I will create the login user interface in Flutter. This is the UI of login screen with the logo of Flutter, and you are seeing that I have created a logo and the email and the email text box and the password text box. So let's start with a new project, and let me give the name of the application is login app. And okay, so this is a very basic tutorial of Flutter. So if you are new to Flutter development, it will be easy to you to create a login UI in Flutter. Okay, this user interface contains two text boxes and a divider between these two text boxes. I have a text view and a button, a flat button, and at the bottom I have also a text view for the sign up page. So if you create a new project, it will take some time, but let me start from the scratch. First of all, import a material.dart and library, and also we have a service library as well. As this is the page, this is the main page, so I will create a method void main, and inside this run app we have a my app class, and this my app class is actually a stateless widget. And inside this stateless widget class contains a widget build method which return a material application. So this is the material application with some attributes like the title of the application, the home page, and we have a home page like login page. I have a home page which is a login page, and login page is actually a stateful widget because every widget in this class is stateful, which has a stateful state, you can say. And whenever I click on the login button, it will take me to the next main page. So this in the login page state class, which extends the state method of the login page, it returns a scaffold. I have told earlier that the scaffold is just a structure of the user interface, the screen of the application. So this scaffold has have a body. You can say I have a body of this scaffold which is a container, and this container has a width and height, which is you can say the match parent in Android. So this page is actually a gradient background, so I am going to use the decoration attribute, the decoration property of the container, which include the gradient property, and I have a gradient type or linear gradient. I will use the gradient linear gradient. Okay, the main attribute of this gradient function is the color of the you have a colors of array of colors. For example, you should have a combination of two colors, three more colors. You can this is totally up to you, how many colors do you want to use, but I will use two colors, cyan color and brown color. And I will also use the flow of the color. For example, begin and end method, you can say. And in this child the container child, I have a column because you can see that the main page contains the column. The first child of the column is the Flutter logo. The second child is the of the column is a second inside the column, a nested column, and also we have a button and text view. So in the column object, we have children of the columns, which contains a container, and this container is actually I can say a container for the Flutter logo, because I want to wrap the container, I want to wrap the Flutter logo inside the container. So I will use the center child, and center child contain a Flutter logo, which has a size and a color. So after this I have a list view, and this list view has a scrolling direction, which is a vertical scrolling direction, and also I can say I will have a list view which contains many children's, like a text box, a divider, and again we will have a text box for the password section, and then we will have a text, and then a Flutter, a login button, and after that we will have a text for the sign up page. So first of all I will create a text section, let's say email section, and then we will have a password section, and after that we will have a forgot section, let's say forgot password section, and then we will have a button section. I will create separate widgets for these three classes, for these three methods. Actually these are called widgets, custom widgets I will create. So the first widget is going to be final email section. Okay, I guess this is a text section. This should be a text section. Okay, input section, and in this input section I will have two text boxes. So first of all I will wrap these two boxes inside the container, and I will give some padding from left, right, top, bottom. Let's say okay, the bottom should be 0. Okay, the child of the container, we have a column because we have two text boxes and a divider. So the first email, for the email we have a text form field, and then we will have some margin from the top. Let's say we have a sized box which has a height of 5.0. Actually it takes value in double, so I gave 5.0 as a height, and then we will have a divider. You can say a line over there, a black line break, and then we will also have a sized box of 5.0 height, and then we will have a text box for password section. So text form field has a style property. Let's say okay, I think let's remove this whole part of the body, and let's start with the you can say let's start with the column, because we will start from the column. And in this you can say this column will be divided into two parts. The first part is going to be the you can say a list view, which contains the Flutter logo, the text section, and again the forgot password and a login button. And in the second expanded the second section of this screen is going to be the sign up button at the bottom. Okay, you can say okay, I forgot to add the gradient background, so we will have a decoration for the container, and this decoration has a class box decoration, and we have a gradient property which has a linear gradient background. Okay, this linear gradient background color, I will add some colors in the gradient property, and I will also give some parameters to you can say the beginning of the color and the ending of this color combination. Okay, again we will have a child of this the child of the container. So I have a child in the container which is a column, and in this column we will have two expanded. The first section I have told you earlier that I have divided this UI in two sections. The first section, this is the second section. The second section is at the bottom, which is a text for sign up page. Okay, the first you can say the weight of the first expanded is 1, and the weight of the second you can say the flex 0. So in expanded we have a child which is a list view, and inside this list view we will have a children, and this list view will have a scroll direction vertical. Okay, so let's remove this debug banner. Okay, this is because we do not have the child in the expanded second expanded, so you can add it later. Okay, in the in the children section this is a list view, so I will add all the all the widgets in the list view. Okay, for this title bar I want to remove this title bar from the top, and you can add this code, and now you can see the whole screen how it looks like. Okay, the first section is the logo section. So I will create a logo section for the login screen, and I will wrap this logo, the Flutter logo, in the container, and I will also give some padding from only top. From the top I will give the padding 50.0, and in the center of this container I will have a Flutter logo with a size of 120. Okay, you can see the logo over here, and then I will have a second section which is an input section. So you can see this is the input section I have already created. this is the text form field, which has a style property. This style is actually the style of the text, how the text will be look like. Okay, the next property of this text form field is the decoration, which I can say the input decoration, because I will remove this line, the bottom line of the text form field, and give the hint text. Let's say enter email, and we will also have a style for this hint text. Let's say how the hint text will be look like. Okay, in the input decoration we will have a border. For example, I want no border in below the text form field, so I will remove the border from the bottom of the text view. I think the hot reload is not working. I don't know why, but let's continue our coding for another text form field. So below this text form field we will have a padding, a margin from the top, and then we will have a divider, which is a single line break. Okay, so this is the second text form field, which is a password form. And the text form field also has some properties which is definitely change from the, you can say, change from the email section. Okay, in the left side we have an icon for the email, and we will also have the icon for the password. So in the input direction we have a property input decoration. We have a property icon, and inside this icon we have a icon for the password section. Okay, if you see, this is the design. So I will little adjust the sized box between these two text boxes. Okay, this is the input section, and again we will have another part of the forgot password section, I think, which is same as the input section. Same like you can say we have a container, and also we will add some padding from the top, and then in the center of this container we will have a text, and the text is forgot password. And let me set the style of this forgot password section, which has a color red, and Okay, the application is now running again, and this is the okay, enter email with an icon and enter password. This is the second text box. Okay, I don't know why the hot reload is not working, but I will continue the code part. But okay, this is the button section, and let me create this one, final button section. And okay, so this is the button section, and as usual I will wrap this button inside the container, and we will have a property of padding which I set to 20.0 from top, and then I will have another child. Okay, so add this another property of width of the you can say the width of the container, which is double dot infinity, and inside this container we will also have a padding property, and the child of this container is going to be a raised button. Okay, so this is the forgot password section. You can see below the password. Okay, so this is the raised button, and I will set the properties for this raised button. Okay, these are the properties of the raised button, and I have set the on pressed method, and again I have we will have a color for this button, and I have set the color to brown, and I have also set the elevation. You can say the shadow of the button I have set to 4.0, and then the child of this raised button is a text which is a login, and how the login will be look like. I have set the style property of this text, and I gave the color, and I have gave the color the white color of the text. Now you have seen in the login screen I have a uh, round corner button with the rounded corner. So I will also give the shape of the button shape to the button to with the border radius of 30.0, the circular shape. Okay, so this is the button section, and you can see this is the button with the rounded corner, and again you can see we have another section of expanded, which is a which has a flex of 0, and as usual I will also wrap this text in the container, and actually this container will be at the bottom of this screen, so I will give some padding from the bottom, and I will set the text of this container. In the center of the this container I have a text, let's say first time here, sign up. Okay, and then I will add the style property, and this is the text style property, color dot brown, add again the font size, Okay, so you can see now the login UI is ready now, and this is how you can create the login UI in Flutter. Okay, this is the UI of the login screen in Flutter.